So the main thing we wanted to talk about today was the district report that Sharon and I put together with a lot of help from good friends in the group, about how we set goals and we met goals during the current year. So one of the things we set a goal for was to increase membership. We were at 33 at the beginning of the year. We were at 36 by the 8th of May, and we do have a couple of new people since then. So we're doing very well for membership. But then they also asked how many members will participate in a club service activity during the year. And I just wanted you to know that every time you participate in some service activity, we get points for that. So, so please turn out and help at least one time a year. It would be wonderful. How many members will sponsor a new club member? And the goal is for every member to bring one new member in the course of the year. So if you could invite a friend every once in a while to an interesting presentation and specifically invite them to join the club, that would be fantastic. How many members are members of at least one Rotary Action group during the Rotary year? And these are district groups. Susan is a member of the diversity group, and I'm on the polio group. So various ones of us are involved in district activities. And if you'd like to join some, that would be great.
I'm on the membership.
And Sharon's on the membership committee.
Joyce, I just joined the Environmental Action Group.
Super, super. Great. Leadership development, and we will pay your tuition to go to the Rotary Leadership Institute, RLI New England. RLINE is their website address. Very good leadership training there, and it's just one short day. So encourage you to do that. How many people went to the district conference? We had disappointingly few at the district conference, and that's one of the reasons that I'm bringing you this capsule summary of what happened at the district conference.
There were 6 of us.
Super, super. How many people are members of a Rotary Fellowship? And this isn't totally optional, but you'll get a taste of the Rotary Fellowships at the International Conference. The International Conference is this weekend, and I'm going to give you more information about the International Conference before the end of this talk. But I hope that you'll look for some interest group. I'm in 3 of them. I do very little for any of them, but it's very interesting just being in the conversation. District training, there's lots of district training going on, and I hope that more and more people will take advantage of that. What we give to the annual fund was on the list of things we were to report, and to the Polio Plus Fund, we actually do very well with that. So thank you very much to all the good people who donate to the foundation and to the Polio Plus Fund. Major gifts, we don't have a major gift donor that I know of this year. If I've missed something, please let me know. This is one of the new People of Action photographs. This is one of our photographs from the dental clinic in Honduras that we helped to build. And you can see the overlay of Rotary advertising on it. I'll show you a couple of others as we go through, but I have some of these on our Facebook page. So it's more the Rotary advertising that they're recommending that we do.
Can I just give a shout out to George on that? Because not everyone knows that George has really been the prime mover on that project, how much one person can make a difference.
Absolutely. Brava. So we've had very good membership retention. We've only lost one member this year. But the other thing we need to keep an eye on is that we are an aging population as usual. And so we need to replace ourselves as we go forward and make sure that we're recruiting people who are going to keep the club young and vibrant as well. We have sponsored a new club, the Interact Club at the Brookline High School is our new club this year. And I'll tell you a little more about that. In the public image, we're measured on, are we using the Rotary logo in all of our communications? Do we have a brand compliant club brochure? I didn't update the club brochure this year, mostly because we never needed a brochure this year. So we've done everything online, but we will update it when we have something like, for example, July 7th, I might update it so that we have something to give away there. We do have a website, a Facebook page, and other social media that are updated at least once a month. And we're using those people of action images on our digital platforms. Here's another example of that. And yes, I used pictures from prior years because they had more shining faces than masks. So I thought they were more interesting in that respect. But you can see we have some really cool photographs, and I hope that you'll help me collect more great photographs and videos in the course of the coming year. These are some slides from the district conference, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Awards. We were one of the winners of the DEI citation. And so we have the right to show this very nice logo on our website. So I'll be adding that to the website. It's very nice. And they particularly wanted to acknowledge us. You can see here we are on this slide. For the work that we've done to promote diversity, equity, and inclusion. And specifically, they cited the work that we did at the Asian American Pacific Islanders Heritage Month with the statement that we put out and the wonderful presentation that we had with Chris. One of the things we were able to do in this reporting was to nominate someone to be our unsung hero. We nominated Jock Grew, and I think he's actually online with us today. And we invited him to join us for a mini reunion when he passed through town.
Call this in Jock's honor. It's so great to have Jock with us. This is the first time we've been together since last March, so we need to celebrate that. That's number one. Yay! I particularly wanted to share this with Jock because he was given an award at the recent district conference. Yes, you were. Yes, as a matter of fact, our club did quite well at the district conference. Number one, we were runner-up for best club in the district.
Whoa!
We won this silver award. And one of the things that we were interested in as we were giving our report to the district on what we did was we could nominate someone to be our unsung hero. And so we nominated you. Standing quietly behind us in so many ways. Presenting the project with great ideas.
So you don't reach across. Okay.
So we nominated you and you were one of 6 recipients across the district of the Unsung Hero Award. So I have a
Congratulations, John.
for you.
I'm ready to cry.
Everybody, I just want to make sure.
And for years and years of ongoing continuous support. I know as a past president, you have been there for every single president in the club. I joined with before. So thank you. Thank you.
Very much.
And Jock,
You have no idea how I'm looking forward to get back with you.
but Jock, you are truly the world best. I mean, you really
Yeah.
do it perfectly. And you're also so forward thinking. I mean, being in a place for so much time, it can be very hard to have that initiative to think out of the box. When you put your efforts behind something or your money or whatever, you think about what's gonna make the most
That's
impact
right. Yeah,
and what's gonna be the most caring, and,
I do think that way.
you know, you do, and it helped, and it worked.
No, I personally feel that I have been so lucky and so blessed that I was introduced to Rotary, and people like John who made it so beautiful. That they gave up from, you know, they really acted in a very unselfish way. We're lucky to have you. Well, I'm very lucky to be back, and I just hope this pandemic clears up, because I've got ideas.
Good.
What you can do to raise funds.
Excellent.
So thank you. So the audio quality was not great. This was our first attempt at a hybrid sort of meeting. And you can see it's not going to be completely straightforward, but we're hoping that it will go even better for Eliza's installation. We are going to do that as a hybrid meeting. Service was a very big component of what we were able to accomplish this year. And these are the questions that they asked us. Did we do a service project with another Rotary club? We did not this year, though in the future we are thinking about that. And of course, Newton is right next door. So that would be a natural partner. So we can think about doing that. Did we do a service project partnering with some non-Rotary club? And the answer is yes, we do that all the time. Sister City, Teen Center, Food Pantry, Women Thriving, Brookline Schools, et cetera, et cetera. We do that a lot. Mothers Out Front, most recently, great partnerships there. So did we do a joint service project with an Interact or a Rotaract club? Yes, we always invite our young people, and they're always willing hands, which is great. And did we do a hands-on service project? We did backpacks, feeding, reading, making and distributing masks, and Chobe's book project. So we got a lot done, believe it or not, in this year. And here's another video. So you can see we were in there several times. These are projects that were done all across the district. And so I think it's always interesting to see what other people are doing because it stimulates our own thinking. Notice that they did things like little cleanup projects around different properties and things like that. Service teams, but what came out of the visioning is that we've set up service teams for the coming year, and there are 3 major themes, and we hope that each of you will choose an area that you care about and join in with one of these service teams. And the 3 major areas are youth, food security, and environment and clean water. So here's a sample of the kinds of things we have done and will continue to do around youth. We're sending 5 students to the Rotary Youth Leadership activity, which is happening, I think, this weekend. And we not only have 2 people that we had approved of last year, but last year, while it didn't happen, so they were invited to join this year's group. Julia Liberatore, who's in the bottom right corner there, is one of the people from last year, and also Teo Dimov. And then this year, we are sending the 3 primary leaders of the Interact group, Delilah Samstad, George's granddaughter, and Ella James Grossman, and Indira Parent. These are pictures of these girls with masks. We've got I'm muting another telephone line. Okay. So Delilah and Ella and Indira are the three leaders of the new Interact group at Brookline High School. So we're very excited that they're going to Ryla, and hopefully they'll come back all fired up and do wonderful things. They've really done quite a lot already this year. So we're very proud of that new group. So we sponsor the Brookline High School Interact group and the Boston University Rotaract group. And Rotaract is becoming more a peer group rather than a subsidiary of the Brookline Rotary. So we'll hear more about that as it goes forward this year. And every time we do a service project, we have included our young people. We were acknowledged for having set up the Brookline High School group. And this is the logo project from the Boston University Rotaract, and they were included in a district film. It's only 1 minute, but it'll give you an idea. And I should mention too that Susan Rack is the advisor to all of the Rotaract groups in the district. So kudos to Susan. The second major group, task force, is food security. And we did a lot with food security this year. It was obviously top of mind for so many of us. Donations and masks to the Brookline Food Pantry, and 2 major fundraisers that we did specifically for the Brookline Food Pantry. We also made a donation and gave masks to the Brookline Food Rescue, which is another group in town that picks up food from restaurants, leftover food from restaurants and grocery stores, and distributes that. We also have been a supporter of Brookline Thrives, which is a project of the food pantry. We were one of the founding members of that group. It provides weekend food for students, and I know Laura and I'm sure some others are volunteers with them and help to distribute food for them. Healthy cooking is an ongoing project that is being done by Karen through Boston University Rotaract, primarily in conjunction with Women Thriving, but trying to help people know how to cook healthily on a budget. Always important. And the third major group is environment and clean water. They've focused this year on educational initiatives, and as I mentioned, partnering with Mothers Out Front. We've had presentations on composting, on Brookline's green energy program, and the most recent one, moving beyond plastics. Really good programming. And then for water, we've been working for a long time with a sister city, the Getzelwaukee group. This year, we had hoped to do the water project, but it got stalled by COVID, both here and in Nicaragua. But nonetheless, Richard got us a wonderful presentation that was done in conjunction with Brookline Adult Education. And he's working right now to leverage not only the $30,000 that we had originally thought we could do in the year that's ending. Now, if we do it next year, we're hoping to fund 2 wells in Quetzalcoatl for a total of $70,000. And other clubs are signing on to help us. Needham, Bedford, and Rich is working on more of them. So I'm sure we'll hear more about that. But that brings me to it, to the topic of the foundation, because we not only give to the foundation, but we get from the foundation. And I wanted to show you just how much we do get from the foundation. We meet the eligibility criteria. We have sponsored a district grant. Our district grant this year was Feeding Hungry Teens, providing dinners at the teen center for underprivileged kids who don't have anybody to go home and make dinner for them. We did not support anybody else's global grant this particular year, but that is something we can think about for another year. It's an inexpensive way to do a global grant, is to put in $1,000 or something towards someone else's global grant, and you get a little bit more mileage about that. We were acknowledged for our work in the district service, particularly Arnie Miller was honored for his work for the foundation at the district level. Thanks to Arnie. And here's another one of those people in action photographs for you. This is from the water project we did in Honduras some years ago. And again, showing some of the wonderful things that we do, not only here, but in the world. So here's what we gave to the annual fund for Brookline Rotary. And what we give, what everyone gives toward the annual fund, is held for 3 years and then is used to fund the grants for the next year. So this year we had set a goal of giving $2,000. In fact, we gave almost $6,000 to the annual fund. You can see that that is lower than it has been for quite some time. We usually give somewhere between $10,000 and $20,000 a year from Brookline to the annual fund. But what we get back from that is even more. And that's what I wanted to show you. So when we gave $9,588 in 2016, we got back from the foundation $21,500. So we get back more than we give every year. And we do that by doing a district grant. We get a $1,500 match from the district when we do a district grant. So for the teen center, for example, we put in $1,500. The district matched that. We were able to give the teen center $3,000 to fund the meals for their hungry teens. And similarly, for a global grant, if we put in $10,000 from Brookline, that gets matched by the district. It gets matched again by the international group. It becomes $30,000 that we can use to do good in the world. And so that's pretty powerful. Notice that in 2021, we only got the $1,500 match because we were only able to do the district grant, but we're planning to do at least the $20,000 back from the foundation in the coming year. Okay, so it's well worth it. And every time when you pay your dues, there's an optional $50 that you can give into the annual fund. Most of us do that. And that's where the money goes to build the fund that gives back to us in matching our projects and helping to fund our projects. On average, people in this club are giving $141 a year. So 100 is that 50 and 50 from your dues, and then various members are giving more than that. So on average, Brookline puts in $141, and that did very well compared to others in the district. In fact, we won the Bronze Award for our work with the foundation from Brookline. And overall, these are the lineup of the clubs. Newton won the Bronze Award. We won the Silver Award, and Weston Wayland won the Gold. So we were the #2 club in the entire district for this year, which we think is great. Please give yourself a round of applause. That's pretty wonderful. So even in a bad year, we really did very, very well. And the most important thing that we all do together is we have fun together. So I love this picture that Susan will remember and Toby will remember playing around in the VFW hall. But we've had a lot of fun together and we'll continue to have fun together. And that's always a very important component. And speaking of fun, if you like to travel, I have a special offer for you. You have been the proud winner of a trip to Taiwan. So if you've never been to Taiwan, you have an opportunity this weekend to go painlessly. You don't even have to pack anything. Just go to Taiwan. It costs you $65, which is like the bargain of the century. No hotel, no meals out, but you get to go to some fabulous presentations.
A world of energy is calling your name. Feel the energy at the Rotary International Convention in Taipei.
So let's all go to Taipei. It was $49 if you registered before the beginning of May, but it's $65 now. It's well worth it. And these conventions are so enormous that they can really be overwhelming, even in remote sessions. So I wanted to give you a little orientation. And some of you who've been to the international conferences before, maybe you can chime in at the end and see if you want to give people some more hints. What I would recommend is attend the general sessions. The general sessions are amazing performances with very high level speakers like the head of the United Nations or the head of the World Health Organization or heads of countries. So, you should definitely go. The other thing is just browse through the breakout sessions and see if there's something that speaks to you. And if it doesn't speak to you, don't go. But just choose a couple of things that you want to go to. Here's the whole program. You see what I mean about it being overwhelming? It's like 2 tons of information. How do you figure it all out? And warning, this schedule is in Central Time. So every one of these sessions is actually an hour later than it says on this. Okay. Thursday and Friday are really for Rotaract. This is the pre-convention for Rotaract. The conference really begins Saturday, as in 2 days from now. And you can register right now. Register, check for the activities. There are some cooking classes you might want to do, but they do require more registration. And choose your breakout sessions, anything you want to go to, but specifically do attend the Saturday morning session, the Sunday morning session, the Wednesday closing ceremonies. These are spectacular events, so please don't miss them. And I wanted to particularly point out that Sarah Tuberty is going to be speaking in the general session on Sunday. This is a very honored slot. Sarah was the president of our Rotary Club a couple of years ago. She is a fabulous lady, and I think you will enjoy her very, very much. So those are my hints. Others, please feel free to chime in with other suggestions for how to enjoy the international meeting. Oh, the other thing I wanted to point out is in the House of Friendship, there will be booths, quote unquote. I don't know what the booths are going to look like, but there'll be a way to explore some of the fellowships. So just explore a little bit, browse around. Susan?
Joyce, I was going to ask, if we register, can we watch it, the recorded stuff?
Yes. Yeah, there will be recordings afterward.
All right, and in order to watch the recorded stuff, we need to register.
Yes.
That's fine, that's fine.
Sharon?
And I don't know how it is virtually with the House of Friendship, but that's where we got a lot of good ideas for service projects and fundraisers. And, you know, we just looked at what Joyce, the fabulous presentation that Joyce did from the district. And now think of that, you know, worldwide. So it's very, and in fact, that is where I saw the trip to India to go get polio and followed up with Susan and Joyce. And that's where it all started.
Right. And Sharon introduced me to the Travel and Hosting Fellowship, through which we stayed with a family in Nepal for 3 or 4 days. And they hosted us around Nepal and showed us all the things that tourists don't usually see. So there's a lot of opportunity. Pick something that speaks to you. What speaks to you will be different than what speaks to me, but I'm in genealogy and travel and hosting and fiber arts. That's in quilting. So whatever you like to do, there's some other folks out there that like to do it too.
I have an idea. I talked to Mary Louise about this because she's near here. If you want to make this virtual convention a little bit more in person, you could get together with a few people and you can even attach it to your TV and have some snacks and actually experience some fellowship here.
Good point.
You saw the report of the service teams. If you remember from the visioning, the double-edged sword about Rotary is that we don't have a single focus. We do a lot of things in a lot of different areas, and that is a double-edged sword. So the visioning helped us this year to focus on those 3 areas of food security, youth support, and the environment and clean water. I think it's been pretty good. It helps us to, when we get all these suggestions about all these different projects we could do, we're able to focus them in those 3 areas, and it helps us, I think. For next year, I believe the 3 teams are going to continue. We really do ask every member to join at least one of those teams, but we will need a lot of hands on deck for this.
I'm sure we all appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joyce. That was really amazing.
Yeah.